Wasabi gangsters, it's me, Chance Dillon, here to talk about books, reading, and writing. A little bit of both. We're going to just mix it up. So what did my week consist of reading-wise? I really put a dent into Blackmouth by Ronald Malfi. I don't have the physical book. I ordered it on paperback, and I did listen to it and read it at the same time on the Kindle via immersive quote-unquote reading. I don't know. I think that's what it's called. And I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I binged it, really, at certain points. The fantastical elements of it, I don't want to give anything away, but this is a horror book. There are some fantastical elements, relatively speaking, but it wasn't like overbearing in any way, in like a bad way, which I don't think it would be either way. But also, Preacher Reads was another person that turned me on to this. I forgot to mention last week, so let me make sure that I do that today. If you are interested to be a part of the Book Street Boys Discord channel, I have a link down in my description below. You can go hang out there. That's where Preacher's at, and he recommended Blackmouth as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was an excellent read. I do enjoy Ronald Malfi's writing. It does obviously give me a lot of Stephen King-esque style points in terms of certain things, but I think his characters are a lot more concise and a lot more organized. It felt like there was a little bit more structure in some ways. I'm not dissing on Stephen King, by the way. He's a master at his craft, and I think a lot of those like eccentric character moments that we get from Stephen King actually make his stories better. But I did really thoroughly enjoy this. If you're a fan of Stephen King, I could see somebody really liking Ronald Malfi, which is cool that somebody's kind of coming up in that. And I'm sure that has happened before, but I don't really read horror. So for me to dig into that was a good jump, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I will definitely be reading more Ronald Malfi in the future. It was just such an easy, smooth read in like a weird way. And I say easy, noting the themes of this book are very dark. But Blackmouth was an excellent read. Excellent read. Very well done character work. The story and plot and everything it was about, and the characters we meet, it was fantastic. So that's what I finished reading. And then I started Return to the Crimson Guard. Now, I only made it about, I think, a prologue and chapter into this. I'm probably going to make a bigger dent into this tomorrow. I'm flying again this weekend, so I'll probably do a fair amount of this before Toll the Hounds, because I know this should come before that. And I'm doing the Ian C. Esselmont books by side, the main Book of the Fallen. And I mean, there's not much to say. I'm only a chapter in. I'm enjoying kind of where we are and what we're getting, and it really starts off with a bang. I don't want to give. I mean, this is like essentially this is the 8th or 9th book in the sequential book Malazan books. So I don't want to give too much away by talking about what's going on here, although I haven't been able myself to connect it really to what's going on in the main Book of the Fallen quite yet, and I know that's probably coming down the line. But we do obviously get introduced to some concepts we're familiar with. We just rehash them from a different angle, and that's one of the reasons why I love the scope of this series. Just how many perspectives you're getting adds so much to the world and the story in ways that can only be comprehended with the whole picture, which I love. I love just getting pieces and putting things together as I go. And then I picked up some books. I got a copy of Gardens of the Moon. I was hoping that it was going to be the old cover. I ordered it online. It was the initial cover that's down here. I'm going to get to next. But I got a mass market paperback of Gardens of the Moon. When I initially read that one, it was on a trade paperback. I picked up the Broken Binding. I was in the SFNF subscription. I picked up Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhoarse. Congratulations to Rebecca Roanhoarse, who won the Hugo Award for Best Series this past week at Worldcon, I think. This one is actually, I have seen this in so many places. It has been recommended to me by people in my proximity, like that read fantasy just generally. And I'm really looking forward to getting into this one, because I do know that it's supposed to be a really badass series. And this edition, that cover is just absolutely amazing. I do love the cover of the original Black Sun, by the way. But this one I'm really looking forward to getting into as well. And then Z.B. Steele, Whispers of the Storm. He was kind enough to send this over to me with a few cool bookmarks in here. And he signed it, which is super awesome. I've heard a lot of great things about this one. You guys should check this one out on Amazon. Maybe I should leave a link in the description. Hopefully I freaking remember. But yeah, ZB was really nice enough to send this over to me. Super grateful he did. Again, same thing. This is one of those reads where I feel like, based on what I'm hearing, it's smooth read. It's going to be a very smooth read, and I'm looking forward to it. It has a cover blurb from Anna Smith Spark, who's another author I really need to get into this year. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm really going to try and break ground on Malazan so I can start adventuring out. And speaking of Malazan, here we go. I got this hardcover of Gardens of the Moon, and this cover is just so freaking cool. I love this one. It's like a super classic dark fantasy cover. I mean, just look at that thing. I'm going to have to redo the thumbnail and put this in there. That was just, it's so fun. Okay, so what's been going on in the writing realm? Well, actually, really quick, before I do that, first of all, thank you for coming for the reading stuff. Also, I had a conversation with Noel D., Tom Orange, Jake from Nerd Level Rising, and J.L. Odom, the author of By Blood, By Salt. It was spoiler-free for about 30 minutes, and then it went full spoilers after that, and we talked for about another hour with spoilers in there, and it was really, really cool to talk with J.L. Odom, get her perspectives, hear a little bit more of her story, hear a little bit more of her inspiration and her process. It was a great conversation. She won the SPF box this year, if you guys are curious, if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about. So we do talk plenty non-spoiler. If you guys are interested in that I believe that's going up at 6 p.m. Eastern Monday on Noel D's channel. And it was an excellent conversation. So that was there. We didn't really have any Mercy conversations this past week, like recorded or anything. I just talked about it with some friends who were in the midst of it, which was really fun. Book 2 feedback for Alfred. The end deadline was the 15th. There are people who are still obviously working on it, and I'm expecting to get notes, which I will be using effectively, just to kind of get broad story elements kind of narrowed down into things that work, things that don't work, so on and so forth. And I'm grateful for those who took the time to read it, because you're reading an unfinished product, and then gave the notes that they did. So I'm super grateful for those of you that out there that finished it. You know who you are. Those of you who are working on it right now, thank you. Keep working on it. I will be using your notes. Obviously, if you want to put it down, that's totally fine. Obviously, it's your prerogative. But I am super grateful for everybody that's done that so far. So Mercy, Ill is the Fate. The cover will be revealed. For my Runeborn Patreon members, it will probably be revealed, I want to say, within the next 2 weeks. And then my newsletter subscribers will be getting it a week and a half to 2 weeks after that. And then there will be another week leeway before I announce it publicly for the cover reveal of Mercy Heals the Fate. So we're looking at like a late September, early October cover reveal publicly. But there will be people getting an early look on my Runeborn members on Patreon. You guys if you follow my Patreon, if you follow my newsletter right now, you get my weekly writing updates that I talk about, like kind of all those things, really a little bit more in depth, I think, than just on video. And you guys will have access to the cover reveal early. That said, I dove back into the manuscript on the day that I said I would, and I believe I'm going to send it out to Dave Butler next week. It's Thursday right now. I'm probably going to send it Monday or Tuesday, and that way we can start the developmental edit process, and we can really start thinking about getting it out the door. In hopefully the goal is in March, and to have advanced readers reading it at the very start of 2026 or late 2025. That would be really cool. And there is another update related to the series as a whole that I can't get specific about just yet. Although things are finalized, there are some other things that need to be put into motion, I think, based on the conversations I've had. So I won't say with who or what, but just I am making it public information that the audiobooks for the Mercy series, there's some positive news on the outset. It's coming, it's forthcoming. And I've been saying that for a while, but we're finally there. We're finally at a point where in the next couple of weeks, you guys are going to actually hear an official announcement. But right now, we are being transparent. We're a go. Obviously barring some extreme circumstances. I'm sure maybe me saying this, who knows? who freaking knows? I won't be able to give specifics, of course, ever, but there will be general things that I'll be able to give information for, and I'm excited to share that stuff with you guys as far as what's going to be happening. That said, because I'm vaguely celebrating what's happening there, I am going to be reducing the price of my ebook from $6.99 to $2.99 for the next, I think, 10 days. Post-Labor Day is when it's going to go back to its full price. So if you haven't gotten the ebook for Mercy Tears of the Fallen yet, or you haven't added it to your Kindle Unlimited library, which it is available on, you can get access to it for $2.99. I will have it on Amazon for that price for the next 10 days, and then it will go back up to its $6.99 price. So if you're watching this, I'm switching the price after this video, and sometimes it takes a little bit for it to kick in, so it should be down to $2.99 by the time you guys are seeing it. So that's really exciting because I want to celebrate. Even though you guys don't exactly necessarily know what I'm celebrating it. I'm celebrating it for me, really. And we had our giveaway of 5 paperback books last week. We had our winners. I announced there were some people, I think one person or 2 people didn't claim. And so we did some spinning and alternating and got some other people some copies. And there's people who already had copies, which I sent them something over. And we're going to, that was really fun to do. And I will be doing a hardcover giveaway. I have 1 extra hardcover to give away. Just keep an eye out for that. I'm going to do all that through Instagram. It's just easier for me to do. In that way, you guys can go over there, follow me. That link is always in the description below as well. I will be doing a signed hardcover giveaway with a sticker, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun because it'll be a celebration, just like this $2.99 situation is. Other than that, guys, I did start the distribution for KDP of the paperback, so you can get it with Prime shipping now. Other than that, those are just the little housekeeping things that have been going on with Tears of the Fallen. While Ills the Fate, the manuscript is being worked on, it's being revised, and I will be sending it off to Dave on either Monday or Tuesday. There's some things in the early parts of the book that I really want to cash out, and then there's some specific line notes that I want to get to before it gets in Dave's hands, because it's something that I can mitigate before the extra work that he doesn't have to do, or at least if he's not going to delete the whole sentence, which is always funny. You fix something, you're like, oh yeah, let's just cut that. It's like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm really looking forward to getting conversing with you guys. Once it's in Dave's hands, I know I have a 6 to 7 day turnaround phase with him per round of editing. That said, I'm going to try. I've been really fulfilled lately with some drafting things. The Book Street Boys, the writing channel over there. There's a prompt that goes up every so on. I think we just started it. So the Preacher was kind enough to give us a prompt, and then I did some drafting there. And I'm just remembering how much I'm missing drafting, because it's been so much work related to marketing for book 1 and revising book 2 that I'm really looking forward to getting back to book 3. I cannot tell you guys enough how excited I am to dabble back into that universe and expand more on Mercy, especially where we are at the end of book 2. Just really looking forward to people to get their hands on Ill as the Fate. And then once we announce the title for book 3, oh man, I'm excited. All right. Super grateful for you guys out there leaving reviews. It means the world. Amazon reviews go a really long way for that algorithm over there. And I know when it comes to Amazon, and actually this isn't going to be a specific video on it. I'm just going to talk about it here because I think making a video of it is important. Maybe I will. I might make a video talking about this whole Audible situation that Daniel Green's brought up, because I probably will make it the top link of this video for Daniel Green's video talking about Audible and sort of the sneaky sort of way that they were navigating the royalty situation. That said, as an author who wants to get his book out there, it's unfair, but also these are things that unfortunately we agree to. And I signed the petition. I urge you guys to go and do that too. I think that there's something in the long run that maybe it can change. It changed before. I think we can change it again. The petition goes a really long way. I hope. I know. I think Robin Sullivan started the petition. She did a conversation with Daniel Green. It's a very noble cause, and I think it will really benefit authors in the long run. I'm hoping that the mass consumer will see this, and we can start to see some change happen in that way. I think it would be highly beneficial for that to happen. I'm obviously you hear rumblings from Daniel Green's last video about what's going on with conversations between Audible and some big hitters that they have on their site, and so hopefully there's some heavily influential voices that will give their input, and we'll see some changes happen. And I think it's coming. I do think it's coming. I think it is honestly. It's a useful platform. I can't deny that. I utilize it, and I've been more careful about how I utilize it since becoming aware of the structure. And I'm always, I think awareness of it is really a big part of how we utilize the tool, right? and now as I'm navigating this on my own and in production things, I'm obviously getting a little bit nervous getting into it. And it's like, what can I say? What do I say? It's one of those weird things for me, at least, especially because this is new water I'm navigating, guys. But yeah, the same thing goes for like Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. It's one of those things. It's like it's the portion of the market that's owned by them. It's hard to step away from that and be like, okay, I'm going to go and do something else. And I commend people that do that. At the same time, like getting your story out there and getting people to read it. This is just, by the way, a conversation transparently between myself and you guys as readers. And I would love your input. If you guys think that I'm sounding stupid, which I might very well be, then please share. I do not mind open conversation about this stuff. But yeah, as an author who is sort of pigeonholed into needing to do this, and everyone's like, no, you don't need to. You can choose to do something else. Like, yeah, but then I'm hamstringing myself by doing that. By, let's say, going another route. And I know that there are a lot of actually companies out there that are trying right now actively to, and I wish I had their names, but they're actively trying to change that. They're actively trying to get indie authors a little bit more of their own space. At the same time, I think, when it comes to indie traditional published and that situation, I think the what's the word? The more we can kind of slash whatever that gap is between us, indie and trad pub, I think the better it will be in the long run for indie published authors. And I think the harder it will be generally, just for everybody. But that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing by any means. I think this is a hard field to get into. So if you're an aspiring writer out there and you're listening to this, just we all have to make choices. And I think that there are people who have time to be a little bit more proactive and kind of go in different direction. And I think that's really cool and commendable. And in terms of putting your ebook on another app or whatever, I think that's a really cool thing. I'm not quite there yet. Personally, this is something that I'm pursuing. And again, getting your story out there is hard enough as it is. That said, I do think that there are some good positive change coming in the future. And that's what I'll end it on. I'll end it on a positive note. I rambled for probably 4 minutes, way too long there at the end. And if you hung around, thank you. I'm sure I sounded like a bumbling idiot. And that's all right. Sometimes we just, have a raw conversation, and that's totally fine. Yeah. Hopefully this awkward silence now for the rest of the video isn't going to be, weird. I may do a separate video on the audible thing because I think that it is an important thing to talk about, and the awareness of that is important because it is kind of messed up. It is really messed up what's going on over there, and I think the intention was to prioritize the consumer, which is totally fair. Also, I think that authors, as an author, I think obviously there's some fairness that needs to be factored into that for all of us going forward. But we'll see where that goes. I really do think positive change is on the horizon there. It's going to take hopefully not too long, but probably a little bit of time. That petition goes a long way. So now there's going to be more awkward silence that I just went through that whole thing. Yep. All right, I'm going to record a short, 90 seconds. I've been doing that every week, and it's kind of fun. So, over and out. Oh, I didn't do it. No, I did it.